All right, guys, I'm just going to come out and say this. We are rebuilding the Saints, but the purpose of this is not just rebuilding the Saints from a realistic perspective, but the playbook. We want to rebuild based off what this playbook can do. How many yards can it throw to the running back? Can it win championships? Is it viable? That is the purpose of my rebuilds. It's not just to be realistic. It will try to be somewhat realistic. I have 3 seasons of realistic drafts, but the purpose is to see how good is this playbook. I've been wanting to rebuild with this playbook for a long time, so now we're going to do it over the next couple of videos. By the way, my name is David. This is Franchise Revival. This is what we do. We don't just rebuild. We look for the best playbooks and the best schemes and everything there is in Madden 25. So let's get into it. All right, so as we get ready to draft, let's talk about real quick where we're starting out here. We're going to be, obviously, the point of this video is to see the prowess of the New Orleans Saints playbook. I know they're under Kellen Moore now, and he ran the Eagles, but, that's the only part that we're not going to, try to make so realistic. So we're going to do the Saints offense, and it features a running back like Kamara. So multi-power run scheme, just fine for that. And then our number one defense, not named the Bills, was the Dallas Cowboys. It's like a light version of the Bills, and uses the best scheme for it is a base 4-3. We did say the cover 3 worked fine for it, I believe. And 46, I think, work. But the best is base 4-3. It is a, base 4-3 type of defense. So I thought long and hard about this pick. Cam Ward's still here, but we already did a rebuild with Cam Ward. The corner we wanted went off the board. You can take a look here. Kind of a weird draft board. Michael Williams went number 1. Travis Hunter number 2. Abdul Carter number 3. Shador Sanders went 4. Mason Graham went 5. Will Johnson, who we wanted, went 6. Scourton went 7. And James Pierce went 8. So that leaves us in a weird area. I looked at so many mock drafts in the last, I don't know how many minutes since the last clip I just recorded. And I'm going to go with, there's a lot of ways to go here. We could maybe overreach for Ben Morrison. We can go with edge rusher, inside defensive line. But offensive line, inside, still very, very needy. And Will Campbell is an hour, played at LSU, which is an hour and 15 minutes away from New Orleans. So we'll take kind of a hometown kid here in Will Campbell. It's not sexy, but we don't need to be sexy. Number 21 in true value. We got him at number 9. He's a hidden development, 6'6", 323-pound, 21-year-old left tackle. We'll probably move him inside to start. 91 strength, 65 speed, 71 acceleration. So, we're starting off our team with a good foundation. So, Shamar Stewart, someone who they think could go to the Saints at pick 9 in the first round. He's still here on the board. So, we're going to go with my man who's 6'6", 290, 21 years old. I'm not sure if he can play. He probably play inside or outside, but they have him as a Cam Jordan replacement in some mock drafts. So we're going to take my man right here. Well, he is 96 in true value. We got him at 39. So according to this, a bit of an overreach, but he does have a hidden development, 81 speed, 84 acceleration, 88 strength. So building in the trenches, just like Kellen Moore was taught. So wide receiver and running back are still a big need here. And, we're going to go with... he probably won't be here. Who knows? He's now a first-round talent, but still, we'll take him. Not Isaiah Bond. That's someone else we considered. But Matthew Golden's still here, and we will see what this man has to offer. 6 foot, 195, deep threat. All right, number 62 in true value. We got him at 103. Scattering report, speed. Yeah, and that's what he has. 95 speed, 94 acceleration, 97 agility, 83 change direction, 86 jump, and 57 strength. that is quite the wide receiver core we think we have right now, and we just don't have a great quarterback. But what can you do? Quite a storyline here. Our second pick in the 4th round, pick 29, Isaiah Bond, still sitting there. Not much more on the board I know too much about. So we're going to take him here. And I mean, having both those players on our team, I like that storyline a little bit. Ranked 45 in true value. We drafted him at 125. I mean, he has elite speed all the way. I know his teammate who we drafted actually ran a faster 40 at the combine, but I think a lot of people say they were surprised because one player plays faster on the field than the other. But we got both of them, so it is what it is. Both Texas wide receivers make their way to New Orleans. Of the 6th round, and Tootin is still there on the board. I know it says projected undrafted free agent, but we know this guy is super fast, and he should be a good player. 5'11", 210, 22 years old. Could he be the next replacement for one Alvin Kamara in the future? Marshall Faulk, number 31, 131 in true value. We drafted him at 167. 94 speed, 94 acceleration, 79 strength, 86 agility, 75 change direction, 72 jump, hidden development. Let's go. We look at the draft recap. 75 overall. Will Campbell is our new inside lineman. Shamar Stewart, a future pass rushing piece for us. Zy Alexander, a little bit of a wet fart there with a 68, but we did get 2 really good wide receivers. Bashaw Tootin, only a 69 overall. I'm fine with it. He is a hidden development. And then we took Justin Barron, a 6'4 safety out of Syracuse. He's 66 overall. All right, well, welcome to the 2025 season. We're an 82 overall team, an 84 on offense, and 80 on defense. We're taking on the New England Patriots at home. They have a pretty nice defense. Let's take a look at our roster here. For now, Derek Carr will start, but Spencer Rattler can take over. They're both 72 overall. We have Alvin Kamara as an 83, followed by Kendre Miller and Tootin. Olave Golden is our 3rd wide receiver with Isaiah Bond right behind him, but Isaiah Bond has played very nicely in the offseason, and he's now up to a star development. Rashid Shaheed is our 2nd wide receiver with Johnson taking over the starting spot from Foster Moreau. And then you have, well, what happened here at right tackle? We're missing Trevor Penning. Why isn't Ramczyk over there? What are you guys doing here? Well, I will fix that. So Ramczyk didn't say he was hurt, but I will move him back over there. You got Will Campbell, McCoy, and Ruiz on defense. Gatchall, Brian BC. We have Young over Cam Jordan, but Cam Jordan's our rush DT. Granderson's over Stewart, but Stewart had a nice training camp as well. Alontae Taylor is our QB2 with undrafted rookie Kobe Bryant as beating out Zy Alexander, but Isaac E. Adam is our 3rd corner. Defense isn't that great. I mean, the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, I mean, he's getting really slow. We got undrafted free agents backing him up. Pete Warner, we have Davis, and then we have an undrafted rookie. I think his name's undrafted rookie DeRicky Wright. I think his name is DeRicky. And then, of course, Justin Reed, Howden, and Baskerville, another undrafted free agent. So we really didn't go bargain shopping. We went with all undrafted free agents because there were some guys left over in free agency, but let them go to other teams. So we've already trained to throw short and to stop the short ball. So let's see if we can get our first win in the new era of Kellen Moore-led Saints. Let's go. And we get the win, 28-27. Let's take a look at this one together. 307 yards from Derek Carr. That's unbelievable. Alvin Kamara, 49 yards rushing, 3.5 yards a carry, 2 rushing touchdowns. Receiving wise, Rashid Shaheed, 5 for 72. Matthew Golden, the rookie debut, 7 for 71 and a touchdown. Chris Olave, 6 for 57. He's also in the slot, so he might get moved out of there. But Alvin Kamara, 5 receptions, 55 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Also, the old man getting it done. And then Juwan Johnson has 4 for 52. Defensively, Carl Granderson has a sack and a half. Pete Vanna has a half a sack. And interceptions-wise, we do not have any. Tackle for loss, Chase Young has 2, and so does Brian Breesy. So a good start to the season. I will trade off players if we are out of it. The worst would be at a 500 team, and we got to be like the top. I mean, not the top, but the bottom 5 of the league to really be in any place to trade off players. So we'll see how this season goes. Here we are, unfortunately, at the trade deadline, and we're 2-5, and we're going to show you a bunch of moves we just made. So now that we are down to an 81 overall, 84 offense, a 79 defense. I didn't cheat the system. I went for some more realistic moves. I could probably get 2s and 3s for some of these players, but I'm not going to do that. These guys are at the end of their career and end of their contract, so they're not going to fetch too much. But there you go. Let's take a look now. First, we're going to send Cam Jordan to the Eagles for a 5th round pick. And then we're also going to make another deal with the Eagles. We're going to send them Alvin Kamara for a pick and a player, a backup player, Tyrann Mathieu to the Jags. And then we have here Demario Davis to the Cowboys. All right, as we wrap up the 2025 season, we went 7-5, had a nice stretch down the end of the season. Did our best to get some momentum. We were 22nd in points, 15th in pass yards, 31st in rush yards, 18th in points allowed, 17th in pass yards allowed, and 31st in rush yards surrendered, which is not good. We need to get better on the interior defensive line. Of course, the Eagles, Chiefs, both number 1 seeds. You got the Bills, Steelers, the Jaguars snuck into the playoffs in 2025 to take on the Ravens. The Colts got the 4th seed and faced the Chargers. You got the Vikings and the Cowboys in the playoffs facing off each other. San Francisco's back in it against the Bears. You got the 6th seed. The Buccaneers are the class of the division right now, and they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Making a big move there, getting Sam Darnold. Working out for him. The stats, Spencer Rattler, he got a couple games in and then got hurt for pretty much the rest of the season. He threw 8 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Derek Carr, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. They combined to go over 4,000 yards, which was a bonus for the offense. Tootin, he got into the season, had a good game, and said bye-bye for the rest of the year. He went out for 14 weeks with an injury, which is unbelievable. Chris Olave, in and out of the slot, had 96 catches, 1,338 yards, 13 touchdowns. Once he got short out, he went bananas. Tight end, Juwan Johnson had 80 receptions for 819 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. Rashid Shaheed, 56 catches, 588 yards, 3 touchdowns. Matthew Golden, 41 catches, 484 yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns. And Isaiah Bond had 16 for 232 and a touchdown. Defensively, Pete Vanna went over 100 tackles along with Alontae Taylor. Brian Breesy had 16 tackles for loss, leading the team. Chase Young had 9.5 sacks, with Brian Breesy with 5.5. Carl Granderson had 3.5, and the rookie Shamar Stewart had 3. And Justin Reed had 7 interceptions, which I believe led the league. No, it was Fred Warner. And see, relative, I'm telling you, this is one of those things. When there's a lot of interceptions, they go up in the league. Like no one will have like 8, and then the next person will have 5. Like this happens a lot, but whatever. Aiden Hutchinson had 21. So did Greg Rousseau. So did Jeffrey Simmons. Von Miller went to the Cardinals. That's crazy. Let's see who else we got here. Amon-Ra 101. So Jaden Reed had 113 catches. Puka 111. Jamar Chase 102. Amon-Ra had 101. CeeDee Lamb 101. Mark Andrews had 100. O'Dunes, he had 100. That's awesome. A lot of yards here. Amon-Ra St. Brown had almost 1,700 yards and 21 touchdowns. Rashid Rice had the most touchdowns receiving, followed by Amon-Ra, Puka, Josh Downs, the usual suspects. How about passing? Of course, Patrick Mahomes goes over 5,000 yards, followed by Caleb Williams. Jalen Hurts had 4,600 yards passing with 42 touchdowns. Dak Prescott had 50 passing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes had 49. Rushing wise, Najee Harris led the league with 1,500 rush yards, followed by Josh Jacobs and Kenneth Walker. Touchdown wise, it was Najee Harris leading the way. How many broken tackles? DeAndre Swift had 51 broken tackles and only 71 yards after contact. The broken tackle thing is just so stupid. And as you might have guessed, Chris Olave and Reed were our only 2 Pro Bowlers on this team. No shocker there. Coach of the Year goes to Kevin O'Donnell. And looking at awards, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, his teammate Aiden Hutchinson. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Ashton Genty over the Lions' Luther Burden. Defensive Rookie of the Year with Kenneth Grant on the Cardinals. Best quarterback was Jalen Hurts. He must have had a ton of rushing touchdowns to go with his 46 passing touchdowns. Best running back was Josh Jacobs. Best wide receiver, of course, Amon-Ra. Best O-line created Layton Johnson. He probably is going to retire. Aiden Hutchinson, the best D-line over Von Miller of the Cardinals. Seahawks got DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams. Micah Parsons, best linebacker with Overshawn. Best DB, Justin Reed over Quinyon Mitchell of the Eagles. And the best kicker was Young Ho Koo. we saw this in our last review, but it's even better. The Eagles win back-to-back championships, and they beat the Chiefs 31-0. Jalen Hurts is the MVP of the Super Bowl again. I mean, as we get to free agency, there's no one I want to bring back at this time. Anybody I can bring back cheaper once we go to free agency, but the resigning period, all we're going to do is take the option on Brian Bresee. All right, well, we got a good role, I think, in free agency, and we have a lot of money, especially after we cut Derek Carr. He saved us like $50 million, and we already had a ton of money before that. So we're going after Zach Martin on a 1-year deal. J-Mo, we're going after J-Mo, yeah. I think he's an upgrade over Rashid Shaheed. Maybe we'll move on from Rashid Shaheed, or we'll just keep him as depth. Bobby Wagner, he's still around. And I think he could be an upgrade at our run-stopping left outside linebacker. I think Isaiah Likely is an upgrade. DJ Reader, 1-year deal as our second D tackle. Will Lutz, Dax Hill, a nice upgrade there. Matt Ariza, Andre Sisco, Damone Clark, the LSU boy, of course, bringing him into the Saints. Geno Smith has the mentor tag, so we'll be going after QB, and we'll be using his mentor tag to help bring back the Ricky Wright, Jalen Walker, and Jordan Phillips, who was a rookie last year, and he's only 22 years old at 68 overall, so he should develop over the years as a nice backup piece. All right, well, after the first round of free agency, we did land Zach Martin on that 1-year deal, along with DJ Reader, Will Lutz, Dax Hill, Matt Ariza, and Geno Smith. We did not get Isaiah Likely or Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams went to Seattle, and Isaiah Likely went to Washington, which sucks. But we're still in on Bobby Wagner, Damone Clark, to Ricky Wright, Jalen Walker, and Jordan Phillips. All right, so here we are at the 2026 draft. This is a realistic draft using the same draft uh, provider. We are at pick 10, and we need to trade up for sure. Uh, they have Drew Aller going to New York, but not to Tennessee. So we want to try to trade up to Tennessee. We're at 10, and we're going to try to get there. All right, so we're making a move here with the Giants at 2. We're giving up our first this year, our first next year, our third this year, and a sixth next year to move up 9 spots. The price of the first overall pick was absolutely ridiculous, and luckily the Titans didn't take Drew Aller, so we're going after our franchise quarterback. All right, well, we're going to run this up to the podium because we want this man right here. Drew Aller, out of Penn State, absolute beast. I hear good things. Number 36 in true value. But we got him at number 2. It doesn't matter what his value is because he's invaluable with a hidden development, 94 throw power, 79 speed, 81 acceleration, 6'5", 238, 22-year-old strong arm quarterback. Let's go. All right, well, we're making more moves here. We're jumping from the 10th pick in the second round to the first pick of the second round with the Titans. We're giving them our second this year, our second fourth this year, and our sixth this year to move up 9 spots. And with that pick, we're going to get a premier player, Dylan Thieneman. He's pretty fast. He's young. He's 23. Let's go. Number 8 in true value. We got him at 33, A-plus player. He's 21, 6 foot, 213, 90 speed, 89 acceleration, 91 agility, 82 change of direction, 76 strength, hidden development. Let's go. All right, well, we just got a steal here in the 4th round. TJ Quinn at 106, ranked number 76 in true value. Hidden development, 6'1", 235-pound, field general, 23 years old. Don't like the age, but I mean the speed, 91 speed, 87 acceleration, 70 strength. We'll take that. All right, well, looking at our draft recap, we got Drew Aller, 74 overall. Dylan Thieneman is 77 overall. TJ Quinn, he's a 71 overall. Ernest Hausman, hidden development, 63 overall. Superstar. Kip Lewis moved to the left outside linebacker. He's 67 overall. And we took Caleb Jackson, a power back at LSU, and he's not very good. Looking at the best players in this draft, Caleb Downs, the free safety, 79 overall. Zachariah Brandt, wide receiver, 79 overall. Ruben Bain Jr., left end, 78 overall. Peter Woods is a 78 overall, and rounding out the top 5 is Anthony Hill at 78 overall, right outside linebacker. Who won each round? Of course, round 1 went to Branch and Caleb Downs of the Bengals. We won along with the Patriots and the Titans with Mekhi Hughes. Ooh, Mekhi Hughes, nice player there. Some good running backs in the second round. But we got Dylan Thieneman, so round 2. We were not involved in round 3, and CJ Baxter, 77 overall, elusive back. Ooh, man, what's this guy look like? 6'1", 225. Damn. We could have used a running back. Round 4. Lander Barton, middle linebacker, 75 overall. 73 overall, Noah Robinson goes to the Bucks in round 5. Round 6, you have halfback Jaden Ott going to the Jaguars, along with Dylan Bell, the wide receiver, to the Colts. And round 7, the right tackle, Fa'amoe. I don't know, dude. The right tackle. Wow. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it's the 2026 season. We got the 2027 draft loaded up. We're ready to go. The only thing is, we're not starting Drew Aller. No, we're going to try to do the sit game here. I hear good things. I hear that you get 10 points added to him. I believe when I see the Saints do really good in some of these franchises I've had through the years, they always sit that rookie and then he just absolutely explodes on the scene like a year later. So we're going to try that. We're stuck with Geno Smith right now. And if, we don't have a first this coming year, but if we're shitting the bed here come mid-season, we're definitely getting rid of Rashid Shaheed and maybe some other people here. But it's all about Tootin. He is up to an 80 now. I went and looked at what Sports Gaming Rosters had updated him to, because he wasn't updated in this draft yet from the Combine. Still waiting for that draft to come out. And he shot up to an 80 with how he was edited after the Combine. The only thing I don't like is he's not as strong. He's way weaker than he was. But it is what it is. He's a receiving back, and he's a big, fast receiving back that's a little weak. We got Matthew Golden, who really, I could move on from Shaheed now, but trying to put the best team out there we can. The most important part of this playbook is pretty much your wide receiver 1, running back, tight end. So we need to get a better tight end at some point too. But this season, like I said, just about the development of one Tootin. Bashaw Tootin. All right, so Pete Vanna is our middle linebacker with Bobby Wagner. Move him over left outside linebacker. Damone Clark, he's super fast. Thieneman, he's our starting free safety with Justin Reed. Justin Reed is also our best kicker. At kickoffs, he's amazing. I didn't even realize that about him. Dax Hill's our CB2. Really need to get better at that position. We failed. This Zy Alexander guy sucks. Shamar Stewart, he's starting still. DJ Reader, our DT2. Brian Breesy, our DT1. And Cam Young, backed up by Granderson and Isaiah Foskey. He's not really building that much faster either. So there you go. Let's get into the season. As you know, the schemes. We are in the Saints offense and the Cowboys defense. We are multiple power run with the Saints. And then Dallas, we are base 4-3. So there you go. Let's advance together the first game, and then we'll start flying through this season. 31-16. Great start to the season. McKinstry has 11 tackles and 1 interception. Player of the week. I'll take it. Geno Smith, 215 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns. Bashaw Tootin, 17 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown. Receiving wise, Tootin only 1 catch for 12 yards, but Rashid Shaheed had 7 for 89 and a touchdown. Looking at the defense, 1 tackle for loss by Brian Breesy. A couple sacks here, 1 for Chase Young, 1 for Bobby Wagner, 1 between Stewart and Breesy, and we got 3 interceptions. Nice. All right, let's go. At week 9, we are 8 games in. We're 2-5. We won the first 2, and we've lost 5 straight. Justin Reed's been out for 6 games. Tootin missed 3 games. And we are not doing very well. So it's time to fire sell this team. And let's get to seeing which kind of trades we can get. The Lions are in the playoff hunt here, and we're going to send them Rashid Shaheed. That gives them 3 wide receivers over 80 and a 7th-round pick for their second pick in the 2027 draft. Found a trade partner with the Jets for Carl Granderson. They're going to send us a 6th this year and a 2nd next year, and they will boost their pass rush over, in the playoff run, and they get a player they can control for another 2 seasons. Eagles definitely in the hunt here. They can really boost their middle linebacker 2 spot with Pete Vanna. So they're going to send us a 5th this year and a 4th next year. All right, the final deal here is we're going to be sending DJ Reader to the Jags for their 6th and 7th this coming year. He's an older player, 32 years old on a 1-year deal. So I don't think in reality we get much. So I'm trying to keep it a little realistic. So we'll take later round picks that we can just hopefully get some depth in the draft class I don't know too much about. As well, welcome to the end of the 2026 season. We went 6-11. I don't think I've ever had a worse start to a rebuild in my life, but look, Saints got problems. They're a very mid team, and we had to get aggressive and make some moves here. We got draft picks. One of the problems is we also don't have like the Madden created draft classes, which I can absolutely murder. So a little bit of a difference there as well. Hey, we're doing what we can. We got a lot of money. We're gonna have like 99 million in cap space coming up here in the offseason. We got plenty of draft picks, although we are missing our 1st-round pick. We do have Drew Aller, who is going to be an absolute monster. He sat for the year. We paid our dues, and it's time that we start building a franchise-winning team. I mean, Geno Smith, 4,300 yards passing, 30 passing touchdowns, 19 interceptions. I mean, you wish he'd sucked less than that with the interceptions, but not bad. Bayshaw Tootin, 181 carries, 748 yards, 4.1 yards a carry at 10 rushing touchdowns. But look, 60 receptions for 638 yards, and he missed 3 games. He had one game where he caught like 13 balls, which is awesome. Chris Olave, 87 catches, 1,200 yards, and 11 receiving touchdowns. Yeah, man. Hopefully we can build off of this. Wide receiver 3 is not that important, but your 2 wide receivers, your halfback, and your tight end are pretty important to this scheme. Just to beware. Damone Clark went over 100 tackles, 103 sacks. Brian Breesy led the team with 7.5. 10 tackles for loss. Chase Young he's a disappointment for sure, dude. Big disappointment. Jack Jones and Dax Hill led the team with 3 interceptions. So it wasn't a great season, but we're taking off next year. We finally have a quarterback over 80. Well, they have the Super Bowl set, and it's time to also look at the Pro Bowl, but we have nobody that made the Pro Bowl, which is amazing. The Eagles, who we did send a middle linebacker to, and Werner, are in the Super Bowl again for back-to-back years, and the Jets made it to the AFC Championship game, another team I believe we traded with this season, and it'll be the Chargers versus the Eagles in the Super Bowl. MVP time for Patrick Mahomes in the yearly awards. Shane Steichen wins Coach of the Year. Hey, don't sleep on the Colts. That's a good playbook. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Bijan Robinson. Defensive Player of the Year, of course, goes to Aiden Hutchinson. As you can see, Edgerrin Cooper makes a lot of appearances in there. J. Michael Sturdivant wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Xavier Nagpa. Dude, just building out Dylan Thieneman. Come on, man. Jordan Love wins Best QB. Best RB goes to Bijan. Amon-Ra, Best Wide Receiver. Ernest Green, the 3rd Best Offensive Lineman for the Cowboys. Aiden Hutchinson, Best D-Line. Micah Parsons, Best Linebacker. Cooper DeJean is not a safety, wins DB of the Year over Tyreek Woolen and his teammate Quinyon Mitchell and Rasul Douglas. Wow, they had a great year. Their defense is balling, and Chase McLaughlin wins Kicker of the Year. Season recap: the Philadelphia Eagles, my Philadelphia Eagles, go back to back to back. They are the team to complete the three-peat, the 3 in a row Super Bowl champions. Eagles 24-16 over the Chargers, and Jalen Hurts is your Super Bowl MVP for the 3rd year in a row. It's a re-signing stage, and we're definitely going to accept the option on Fuaga. And then as far as other signings, I'm not sure I want to bring back any of these people. Maybe some of these young guys, like we'll try Kobe Bryant here. I'm not really happy with this deal. We'll try this. I mean, he could be here for a while. We'll give him a 5-year deal. See if he sticks this out with us. Cool. That's fun. All right, guys. Welcome to free agency. We got our names on a bunch of players here. Jair Alexander on a 1-year deal. It showed that we were ahead of the Raiders, but who knows what happens there. We're back in on Zach Martin, Devontae Wyatt, bringing in as our second defensive tackle. Damian Pierce on a 1-year deal to be our power back. Grant Delpit, a nice backup slash starter for us, an LSU product. Trenton Simpson, super fast. We have one of the fastest linebacking cores in the game. Going to bring in Miles Murphy. Trey Smack, one of the better young kickers out of Florida. Luke Musgrave, obviously you know his speed, even though he's only a 73 overall. Kobe Bryant, bringing him back. We're going to get him on a long-term deal. Just be a really nice, solid player for us for the rest of his career. And Geno Smith on that mentor tag. All right, well, we were able to land Jair Alexander, Zach Martin, Damian Pierce, Miles Murphy, Musgrave, and Geno Smith, but we got some competition here for Grant Delpit and Trenton Simpson, so we'll have to evaluate whether or not we want to add more money into going after these guys. All right, well, looking at the free agency recap, we got Jair Alexander, Zach Martin, Wyatt, Pierce, Micah McFadden. We had to settle for over Trenton Simpson, who will be our left outside linebacker. Miles Murphy, Trey Smack, Isaiah McGuire. Had to settle for him. No one else was in on him. Got on him on a 1-year deal. Musgrave, Kobe Bryant, Jalen Royals came back, one of the fastest wide receivers. And, of course, mentor Geno Smith. Hey, guys, well, we're sitting here at pick 6 of the 2nd round. This is our first pick of the draft, and we have 2 LSU prospects right here. Deshaun Spears, I think, is going to be our guy here. He's a run support safety, 213, 6'2". Doesn't have the zone coverage, but we're going to take this man. He's got decent speed, but great strength. Got to go with the LSU guy. Number 46 in true value. We got him at 38. Wish he was faster, but he's 6'2", 213, 21 years old. He's got strength, and he's got a hidden development. So hopefully that pick pays off. All right, well, we're at pick 20 of the 2nd round, and we got 2 round 1 through 2 talents. And I'm like an OJ Frederiki. Who the hell knows how you say that? But he's 6 foot, 187, 21 years old. Number 38 in true value. We got him at 52. No hidden development, but he has 92 speed, 93 acceleration, 92 change of direction, 93 agility, and 68 strength. That's a pretty good size strength combination for me. All right, well, looking at the draft recap, we did not do very well. We did not get a player over 73, and we got no superstars. We got 2 hidden development players, and both of them are stars. Just not great. This 3rd draft class, maybe not the best, especially for what we need. I mean, the tight end and the defensive tackle at 69 overall, they'll, grow into something by the end of the season. They'll be halfway decent players, probably just all backups. I mean, Deshaun Spears just ain't fast enough. We can go and take a look at the rest of the draft. Wide receivers, for the most part, all round 1 guys are in the 70. So I guess it's relative to what the draft is. But, the highest overall player with Jeremiah Smith. Pick 1 of 1, 79 overall. Ryan Williams, 78 overall. Well, as you saw, we had a decision between Cade Durham and the safety we took, both out of LSU. But running back, just not our need. Lots of running backs here, lots of wide receivers, all first-round talents. The players in later rounds that were good are running backs. I kind of like that. I think the running back should be higher than most positions because running back overall really matters to production in Madden 25 and most Madden. So um, they have to start off with high overalls for sure. Wide receivers probably not so much. Quarterbacks they should start lower because they are just too good if you put them in a good playbook. So a little rant there, but it's good on having the halfbacks that are going to be good in this league, starting off with the highest overalls. To start the 2027 season, we're an 85 overall team, 85 on offense, 87 on defense, and you know that we're just going to go up as the season goes on. Let's take a look at the roster before we advance our first game together. Drew Aller. Come on. The delay on this. I can't stand the delay of menus and stuff. But anyway, Drew Aller is up to an 84 overall, starting his first game of his career. Tootin's an 84. We cut Damian Pierce because we just got some really nice backups. We don't need him. Chris Olave, he's down. I think he's still a superstar. 92 overall. Isaiah Bond and Matthew Golden, they really need to step up this year. They're stuck in the 80s. We were able to pick up Troy Franklin in free agency this week. He's just sitting there. Juwan Johnson, your time is possibly up soon, my friend, but I'm loving our offensive line. We're all above 80. And then defensively, we got Brian Breesy, Wyatt, Shamar Stewart really needs to take a step forward. Chase Young, I mean, can we get anything out of you, buddy? It's just not that great. Jair Alexander really, boosting our defense. 90 overall superstar. Dax Hills, our third corner with McKinstry down to our cornerback 2. Got Thieneman, 81. He's starting. Spears, we're starting in sub linebacker. He actually has 70 something catch. He's one of the best of all of our linebackers and safeties. So he will be our sub linebacker to start right now, even though he's a little bit slower. McFadden, TJ Quinn, and Damone Clark are our linebackers with Justin Reed. And that's pretty much it. So that's the team. Let's advance together. We did train to stop the short pass and to throw short. Our schemes right now, air raid and 46 defense with New Orleans offense and Dallas defense. I'm hoping I don't have to change the defense. I don't know. The Cowboys are pretty good defense, but we also didn't have the greatest team. So let's advance together week 1 and see how we do. Awesome. We get the loss 31-17 in Drew Aller's first game. Let's see how he did. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Yeah, losing the touchdown, the turnover battle is not good. So, got to do better there. Tootin did have 5 catches for 43 yards and a touchdown. Isaiah Bond had a touchdown. Juwan Johnson, not happy with this guy. Could be better, for sure. Defensively, ton of tackles for loss. That's crazy. But only 1 sack combined and no interceptions. So we lost the turnover battle, but we will try to do better and see if we can get this team into the playoffs in year 3? Welcome to the midway point of the season. We are 5-2. We are doing very, very well. 10th in pass yards, 15th in points scored, 32nd in rush yards. That's not good. 20th in points allowed, but 8th in pass yards against and 6th in rush yards against. So we have definitely improved as a team over this time period. Let's take a look at the stats. Drew Aller, almost 1,900 yards passing, 15 passing touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Rushing wise, you need to get better here. Bashaw Tootin, only 76 carries, 263 yards rushing, and 3 rushing touchdowns. And then receiving wise, Chris Olave, 33 catches, 490 yards receiving, 4 receiving touchdowns. Juwan Johnson's our second best receiver, followed by Isaiah Bond, Matthew Golden, and Bashaw Tootin has 31 catches, 277 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. So we do need to get better there, but I'm sure we will as Drew Aller improves. Devontae White and Chase Young both have 7 and 6 tackles for loss. Sack wise, hurting pretty bad here. Interceptions, we are not doing very well, but it's all about the record. Looking at the contracts, I'm not going to sign anybody right now, but I probably will at the end of the season. Actually, you know what? Let's lock up Kool-Aid McKinstry here. Give him 6 years, $72 million. Let's see if he'll take it. Excellent. All right, we still have $155 million to go. Brian Breesy, yes, we'll take this. I'll only give him a 3-year deal. At $66 million, and we'll see how he does not accept it, but we'll keep trying. Chase Young, not a fan of him, but we'll try 2 years, $42 million. All right, he's not taking that. Cesar Ruiz, for sure. We'll take this, and we'll give you about 3 years, $42 million, buddy. That's cool. All right, we'll keep the offensive line intact there, and then Gerald McCoy, 3 years, about 2 years, $28 million. All right, because now we're getting into the Madden drafts. We can do some different damage there. As far as backups, no one we really want to resign right now. So we'll see about these guys later. We do have to pick up the option. Looks like Zach Martin might be considering retiring. We do have to consider picking up the option on Will Campbell, which we will do. So let's get to the end of the season, and we'll see you there. All right, well, we've reached the playoffs here, 13-4, and we are the number 1 seed in the NFC. And we did it on the last game of the season. It was us versus the Eagles. They had the 1 seed, and we beat them at home 2010. That's not a good omen for them. That's happened quite a few in the last couple franchise seasons that we've had in other rebuilds. We're 15 in points, 2nd in pass yards, 28th in rush yards, 4th in points against, 3rd in pass yards against, and 28th in rush yards against. That's pretty crazy. Let's look at the stats. Drew Aller in his first season starting, 4,600 yards passing, 35 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions, a QB rating of 108.7, rush yards, rushing attempts. Bashaw Tootin, 223 attempts at 830 yards, only 3.7 yards average, 9 rushing touchdowns. He did have 42 broken tackles for 61 yards after contact. Chris Olave, 79 receptions, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Juwan Johnson, 84 catches, 902 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Excuse me. 63 catches for 773 yards for Isaiah Bond. Matthew Golden, 67 catches for 710 yards for 2 touchdowns. And Bay Tootin, 73 catches, 689 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. That's a lot of catches. We trained all throw short, so there you go. The rookie, Deshaun Spears, 85 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 2 interceptions. Please give me Rookie of the Year. Defensively, we got Devontae Wyatt, a good pickup here for us. 14 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. Chase Young, 13 tackles for loss, 8 sacks. And a contract year for him. Shamar Stewart, 7 sacks for him. Brian Breesy, 7 sacks for him. Intal Shepsons, Jair Alexander had 3. Spear had 2. Dylan Thieneman had 2, and so did Justin Reed. There you go. We can look at some leaders here for sure. Passing wise, I mean, Drew Aller finished second behind Joey B, who had 54 passing touchdowns. Shedeur Sanders had 45 for the Raiders. The Raiders. 38 passing touchdowns for Dylan Raiola. We know that playbook. Anthony Richardson had 37. Where is... Oh, man. What happened? What? Where's Patrick Mahomes? Did he get hurt? Oh, that's crazy. Arch Manning's on the Cowboys. Gross. Kenneth Walker, 1,500 yards rushing. Omari and Hampton. He was second, and he had 302 carries. Touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, he is a beast. Jalen Hurts had 17. Jamar Gibbs had 17. Broken tackles. Kyron Williams had 49. Who had the most after contact? Yeah. How about receiving? Jaden Reed, 118 receptions. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 110. CeeDee Lamb, 102. Puka had 101. Emeka Ibuka, oh, he's on the Bengals, 100 catches. That's crazy. CeeDee Lamb had 1,800 yards on the Cowboys, followed by Puka, Josh Downs, Amon-Ra, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had 33 receiving touchdowns. Now, I've seen that a lot in the playbook, but not controlled by the CPU. That's fucking stupid. I can't get 2,000 yards with a running back, but a freaking wide receiver can get 33 touchdowns. Give me a break. It's starting to get dumb. It was cool, but now that we see it just happen over and over again, I'm not a fan of it. Trevin Wallace had 143 tackles. That led the league, and he is a normal development. Input delay here. Tackles for loss. Jalen Carter, we know how good he is. Aiden Hutchinson had 24 sacks, followed by TJ Watt, Will Anderson, Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, all the usual suspects. Will Johnson, 6 interceptions, and he is a superstar with strip specialist, unfakeable, and bench press. Nothing to do with anything like deep out zone. None of that shit matters, dude. I'm telling you. Deron Bland in the Cowboys, superstar, and he has inside shade, unfakeable, and persistence. Like, only that matters towards like coverage. So there you go. I'm all fired up because we made the playoffs and we're the number 1 seed. Just like that, we went from 2 years of shit, and here we are. All right, well, here we are in the playoffs, take on the Packers. Let's look at the playoff bracket here real quick. On the AFC side, the Bengals were the number 1 seed. They take on the Ravens, who beat the Texans 21-6. There's the Chiefs, 31-13 against the Dolphins. They take on the Raiders, who take out the Bills. Wow, but the Raiders have been just showing up in all these rebuilds in the playoffs. So the usual suspects in the playoffs on the AFC side now it is the Raiders. They are just always in the playoffs. On the NFC side, we got the number 1 seed. We take on the Packers, who took out the Rams, who have become a usual suspect because the playbook is so good. You can have the Eagles, the 3-time defending Super Bowl champion, taking out the Washington Commanders 38-17. And they take on the Falcons, who took out the Bears 27-20. So there we go. We have a potential matchup with a bird. A bird of prey in the next round. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but anyway, we know how good the Packers playbook is. They're 88 on offense, 85 on defense. We're 88s across the board. Can't speak right now. They are 4th in points scored and 6th in pass yards, and they're in the grays the rest of the way. Let's advance together. We're fully healthy, and we're looking pretty good here. And we get the win 27-24. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Let's take a look at the stats. The rookie, Drew Aller. I don't know. Is he a rookie? No, he's not a rookie, but 294 yards passing, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You know, I had some nerves there. Bashaw Tootin only 12 carries for 39 yards. And receiving wise, John Johnson, 7 catches for 67 yards and a touchdown. Olave had 2 for 63. Golden had 6 for 62. Isaiah Bond had 5 for 55. Troy Franklin went an odd one there. All right, and then defensively, we got a sack from Wyatt and a sack from Brian Breesy. Interception-wise, Micah McFadden did get an interception. I think that's like his first appearance this year, really. Jair Alexander had 7 tackles, so I'm out of breath because I'm like lifting as I'm doing this. We lost the turnover battle, but we won, and we got another showdown with the Eagles. Crazy, very crazy. All right, oh no, we got an injury. Jamal Jarrett, backup defensive tackle. That's fine. All right, let's do some strategizing, and then we'll do some advancing together. All right, here we are taking on the Eagles. They're an 89 overall team, 89 on offense, 91 on defense. They were 12th in 12th in scoring, 27th in pass yards, but first in rush yards, first in points against, 6th in pass yards against, and 2nd in rush yards against. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, their team is just so good. They got players on there these last couple drafts on their D line. They're so good. They are missing Reed Blankenship, which does hurt. We don't have enough time to show you their whole team, but they're good. And you know most of the players, but it's unbelievable. So let's advance together and see if we can make it to the Super Bowl in Drew Aller's first year starting. This is kind of like a Jaden Daniels run here for the Saints. Absolutely amazing. And we beat the Eagles a few weeks ago in the last game of the season to get home field advantage. And here we are facing them again at home, almost the exact same situation. So let's do it together. Get the win 29-24. Are you kidding me? Drew Aller, 260 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns, an interception. Bashaw Tootin, 20 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown. Chris Olave, 9 receptions, 149 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Bashaw Tootin had 3 for 30. Defensively, Chase Young had a sack. Shamar Stewart had a sack. And Jair Alexander, the big free agent acquisition on a 1-year deal, 30 years old, had a nice game-sealing interception to send us to the Super Bowl. Let's freaking go. We're taking on the Ravens, who beat the Raiders. All right, well, here we are taking on the 9-8 Ravens. They're an 86 overall team, 88 on offense, 85 on defense. They're not very good. They have, of course, Lamar Jackson and Kyle Hamilton, Zay Flowers, and a good tight end. But they got holes all over their team. They got some really good players, and they have some really bad players. So I think they kind of got hurt by cap situation. So this should be, an easy matchup for us, I think. But you never know. Let's take a look at the yearly awards. Joe Burrow, MVP over Shedeur Sanders, which is crazy. Coach of the Year is Zach Taylor. Got the MVP and the Coach of the Year jinx. In the NFC, CeeDee Lamb was the Offensive Player of the Year. Aiden Hutchinson, the Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year was Archie Manning. KVA was the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, he got it over Spears. But this guy for the Eagles is really good. Williams Nimwari or something like that. Best QBs, Caleb Williams. Best RB, Jahmyr Gibbs. CeeDee Lamb, best wide receiver. Chris Lindstrom, best offensive line. Best defensive line, Aiden Hutchinson. Micah Parsons, best linebacker. Best DB, Deron Bland. And best kicker is Brandon Aubrey. So a lot of Cowboys, Eagles mixed in there. So let's get to the Super Bowl. Let's play this
well, quotations, play this game and see if we can complete an early goal only 3 years into this rebuild.